All right, guys, Copper Cutlers here. One up for the budget guy so far. Yesterday, I made a video. I posted it up earlier today about the threads for the nozzles getting stripped out. And so it was a bit of a devastating blow. I'm not going to lie to you. It took the wind out of my sails after having an awesome day Saturday working on it. I come out here Sunday. The first thing I do to put the carburetor together, threads pull out. First thing I did. So, whatever. Did some research. There's proper repair kits, whatever. But I'm at work and I'm kind of bummed out. But I'm glad I didn't impulse buy either the kit or the main body. So, in the other video, I explained what I did. But here, what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and reinforce the thinking outside of the box thing. I did some research. There was a lot of concern about oversizing the bolt and possibly drilling the nozzle. Well, I found a creative way around that, and I explained that in the other video I'm going to post as well, detailing the work that I did. But it saved me $120 at most, $60 at the least, and a lot of work, because to drill in through that nozzle passage, you have to be dead nuts straight. Being able to drill into an already pre-existing bore helped me keep it straight, because it's got to be straight if you're using a Holley coil, and it absolutely has to be straight if you're going to be pressing in a brass piece in there like one of the repair kits. At least drilling and tapping this, you can kind of mess with it a little bit, and it's a little bit more forgiving. There is a little bit of crush to the gasket at the base of the nozzle, but still, you want to keep it as straight as possible for leak-free performance. But I already ran the car. It idles better. It revs better. And now I am getting like solid piss streams out of the nozzles. Before it felt restricted. They were just, I don't know. It was always concerning for me. And I'm going to bring a good point up, guys. The gaskets that you get with the nozzles, which are these, they fit really tight on that screw. So think about that. If gas is supposed to flow through these threads, through a channel, the restriction point is this gasket, because the walls also have to be clearanced on the nozzle. And it's hard to explain, but say you got, I'll draw it out for you guys. You got a passage inside the threads. Part of your bolt is going to cover that, but it's supposed to flow up. You put a gasket over that, you just created a restriction despite the fact that there is a flow channel in there. And I found some small gaskets I had from another rebuild kit from a different carburetor that allowed there to be a gap around the sealing surface, so it didn't sit snug on the threads of the screw. There was some space, so there was some space between the bolt and, let's say this piece of paper is the sealing surface of the gasket. There was a light, very light film of light around the surface, around the diameter. Before, with the other gasket, you couldn't see anything. So I'm thinking that also added insult to injury with my prior issues with the accelerator pump problems I was having. So luckily I had some gaskets that worked, and it made a huge difference. Now I still got a slight lean situation. When I rev this thing, I can actually now crack it wide open and it won't cough. It's got a slight miss, and I am going to try the 50cc accelerator pump at this point, but I'm going to drive it tomorrow. It's supposed to be nice and dry. And we'll see what it actually does with a quick jab of the throttle, because I was having a serious lean condition during that transitional period. But due to the fact that that nozzle didn't sit in there tight, I was pushing fuel out of the bottom seal. And the other thing that always bugged me is this thing would steam for a while after I would shut it off. Well, guess what? The fuel would trickle out through the bottom of the nozzle into the hot intake, and it would just evaporate out and you'd see this steam. Well, it didn't do it this time. So I'm thinking this has been an issue since I got the carb, because it always did it. And the last time I swapped nozzles, I must have had just enough thread for it to feel snug. And when I went to go take it off, they came out. But whatever, it's fixed. And The M6 thread is a little bit more aggressive than the thread, the 1028 thread of the stock size thread for the Holley. It's got a good bite on there now. I got a nice firm snug, not too tight. You don't want to pull the threads out again. But guys, I saved at most 120, at least 60 bucks, and that's week money for me. You know, that's my gas, lunch, whatever, for down the road. So I'm glad that I was able to fix this, spending zero money. The latch bolts we had at work, because I'm a pack rat. Whenever we get junkyard parts, we gut the doors. Usually it's doors or stuff like that. We have to gut them because they have to be painted properly, so everything gets taken out, and all of the old components from the damaged door get put back into the used door. So we save bolts, window regulators, you name it, stuff gets bagged and tagged, and down the road if we need it, well, guess what? Searching through all those latch bolts, I found the perfect ones. So the Germans saved me today. That M6 screw, perfect. And it's a Torx now, so it's a lot easier to tighten versus the Phillips. You get a much more firm feel with the Torx than with the Phillips, is that sometimes they wobble. But guys, I'm very happy about this. It hasn't set us back financially. I am a budget guy. I don't like spending money. But hopefully it continues working as well as it did so far. I don't want to speak too soon, but guys, that's the route I went. Like always, follow on Facebook. I got a bunch of pictures that I'm going to upload on the Facebook about that I took along the way. It might make a little bit of sense what I'm talking about. So follow us at Copper's Garage on Facebook, on Instagram, Copper Cutlass. And if you're obviously watching this on YouTube, Copper Cutlass as well. Share, like, subscribe. If you think this video is going to help somebody save some money, share it. Because I was reading the reviews and comments on the Proform HP main body that is almost mimicked after this one. Like half of them were replacing the main body because they stripped out the threads. And you just got to get creative. And the main thing with fuel is create no restrictions. Get it tight, create no restrictions. Don't go too big. On the bolt or whatever you're going to drill, you can drill out the nozzles a little bit because they're solid. They're drilled at an angle. There is material there to drill, but don't go crazy. I could have clearanced the bolt through the nozzle, but I didn't want to do that. I felt that was a very aggressive way to do it. So guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for following.